So starting the race here, it's a very quick start. You'll see the American Joshua George lead the pack out on a very hot pace. At this point everyone's trying to come across and slot into lane 1 and find a position at this point. Ernst van Dyke from South Africa and Josh Cassidy from Canada slot in front of me. Right at this point the South African sees there's a gap opening up with the top 3 athletes and chooses to try and close that gap, as he doesn't want them to get away at the start of the race. So he's going around the outside now, number 66, and slotting back into lane 1 and close the gap that the top 3 competitors were getting away from. Right now I'm just tucked in nicely behind Josh Cassidy from Canada, using the draft to my advantage, where I'm doing possibly I think a third less in the draft. Just tucked in nicely here, working hard. Speeds, the pace is up. 30-31 is a good pace for a wheelchair for 1500 metres. Heart rate creeping up all the time. Just on the right hand side you can see Kurt Fearnley's done his pull at the front. He's just dropping back along the pack here, looking for a spot to come in. I'll actually drop back and let Kurt Fearnley in front of me. My tactic here is to let Kurt in front so that later in the race, when the sprint is on for the finish, I'll be able to follow his wheel, as he's one of the best sprinters in the world, and hopefully follow his wheel in the draft the whole race to help me secure a better qualifying time. You can see another athlete has done their turn at the front. I've chosen not to let them in, and they've gone to further back in the pack. As you can see, the pace is pretty consistent, above 30 the whole time, which keeps us on schedule for a good fast pace. At 1.1 kilometres we're coming up to the bell lap now, so the pace will increase. This is essentially a 400 metre sprint to the finish now. Interesting in this race, you'll see a red flash come round in lane 3. It's Keita Hokanui from Japan, who surprised us all and has put on an incredible sprint here to go straight past the entire pack and literally go straight to the front and is away. I've chosen to move out to lane 2 now, trying to follow Kurt Fearnley's wheel, stay in his draft in the mad sprint to the finish. Kurt, being one of the best sprinters in the wheel, has effectively dropped me now, and is pushing for the finish way out in lane 4, which is always a very difficult position to win in.